Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to the Tactical Bacon gun channel. As always, I am Tactical Bacon and I will be your guide for today. So, what we're going to be doing today is a two-part video. It's a disassembly and then reassembly of my everyday carry gun, a Sig Sauer P250 compact chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. I've been carrying this gun since I got my handgun carry permit in Tennessee a few years ago. So, still in the holster from where I took it off the belt. And let's get started. I've previously reviewed this gun. I'll put a link in the description. And I'll put an annotation right here for anyone who wants to go back and see my thoughts on this wonderful gun. The holster is a P250, is a Sig Sauer brand paddle holster with a finger release. A lot better than the Serpa, a lot safer because your trigger finger is up here. So when you press the button and draw the gun, you're on the slide. You're not in line with the trigger like the Serpas have. Very unsafe. So we'll get this holster out of the way for now. Drop the magazine and clear the gun. So now that we've got it here, this is actually the first step of disassembly of any weapon, is to point it in a safe direction and then clear it. And with this gun, it needs to be locked to the rear, like a lot of handguns for takedown. And you've got a fairly ubiquitous takedown lever on the left side. Most SIGs and a lot of other guns have this on here. In fact, I'm going to post a review in a few days of another gun that has a takedown lever like this. Another European, really nice gun. Release the slide, and it comes right off. This gun, like many others, uses Browning's tilt lock barrel. Very easy to take down. Just press forward on the slide and pull. Or rather, the recoil spring and guide rod assembly comes right out. Set that to the side. Barrel, lift, push forward, and then lift back out. And that's your basic takedown on the slide. That's all I'm going to be doing today. I don't have the tools to take it down any further. To take the firearm the rest of the way apart, your takedown lever pulls out the left side. You just set that out of the way. And then to remove the serialized portion, the fire control assembly from the gun, lift up towards the front and slide forward. Now for this next part, I like to pull back on the hammer. Puts a little slack in the trigger, makes it easier to get out of the grip module. There we go. And there's a piece of plastic. And here we have the serialized portion, the gun itself. Multi-caliber, available in different sizes. I've got a conversion kit for 9mm and compact around here. Really easy to swap it over. You can do it in less than a minute. So, to take this apart, first thing you want to do is take this spring loose. You see how it's got that hook there? Just want to press down on it, and it comes right out. Next, you've got your trigger bar and trigger. Just pull straight out the side. I wish it was that easy to put it back together. Your takedown lever, I like to take this down next, but you can do these next two parts in either order. You just got a pin, goes one way from the left side. Press out on it. And then your slide lock lever pulls straight out the top. You got your spring in there. It's not positively retained. It will fall out on you if you're not careful. The next bit is kind of tricky. What I like to do, I like to go to the right side and push out the hammer retaining pin, and then I'll get an ink pen or a small screwdriver, something similar to that, punch, and work out the retaining pin for the hammer springs, and it's not wanting to really work with me today. Let's see, come on. Get a little further out. All right, there we go. Notice I put my finger here on the bottom to help catch those hammer springs. They will go flying. There's 2 of them in there. Both spiral wound. And then your hammer drops out. And this drops out too. This is what this piece right here, when you pull your trigger, this is what engages your firing pin safety, or the firing pin block, to disengage it. So, you know, without that being disengaged, without that being pressed in, the firing pin will never go forward far enough to strike a primer in a firearm that's functioning properly. And there we have it. A stripped Sig Sauer P250. Now, Sig does not recommend taking the gun down this far. They recommend leaving the fire control assembly intact unless you are a Sig certified gunsmith. The compact, I've got the factory 13 round magazine here and a 14 round aftermarket magazine. This one's empty, so we'll take it apart. There's a small push pin at the bottom. Just press that in, and the base plate slides off. Hold your thumb over it to stop the spring from sending stuff flying across the room. You got your magazine body, now empty. Made in Italy by Metgar. Very nice, high quality. And then you've got your spring, you've got your follower, and you've got your the words escape me right now. And then putting it back together is fairly simple. Just the inverse. Put it back in there. Press down. And the base plate slides on. Sometimes that pin does not want to come out the bottom the way it's supposed to. Yeah, it'll fix itself when I load it. As far as the ambidexterity of the gun, it features an ambidextrous slide release / slide lock. The magazine release is reversible, and there's a small hole on the back of the magazine release on the side opposite where you push, and you want to put a small pin in there, and that'll allow you to take it down, and then you can put it back in on either side. Me, I'm right-handed. I'm not going to mess around with it. I did it once. I found it to be extremely annoying. I don't want to do it again. So that is how you disassemble a Sig Sauer P250 in detail. I'll be uploading another video shortly after this one on how to